All right. So in my work, I talk about 4 stages. Now, a caveat to this is that there's hundreds of models of human behavior out there. And this is just one. Most models have a series of purposes. Like the number one purpose really of any model is to just understand behavior. So create a model of trying to explain it. Another reason for models is to predict it. Is to predict your behavior and to predict, more importantly, the results of that behavior. And then another reason to create models is for change. So through understanding and prediction, you can change your behavior to get different results if you want. Through like awareness of what you're doing is like, okay, I'm now aware that this is going to produce that. How do I change? Now I'm doing this, and then I can get that. Having said that, I've never met a model that actually 1,000% lives up to human behavior. Humans are just too squirrely. They're just very predictive creatures until they're not. And they're often not. So that's my way of saying take this lightly. Hopefully it's useful to you. But in the context of us talking here, this creates a shared language. And so within the predictiveness of what and the results that you want and the understanding that you want, this model will help us speak the same language. An example briefly of a model that many of you may have heard before. It's really popular. People will say, oh, are you familiar with the love languages? There's 5 love languages. Are you familiar? And then you go, yes. And then that, I understand myself. This is what I like. This is what she likes. This is how I'll react when I get that. This is how I react when I don't get it. How do I get what I want? Okay, so in my work I use 4 stages. The first stage is when you need something from your partner. I need you to do this. I need you to be different. I need you to do this, 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 and this. Now, an example would be you're driving down the road and someone cuts you off. You're like, ooh, like immediately anger, frustration, like you need them not to have done that. It puts you into a first stage mode. Now, when we talk about these stages, a typical experience will be that people will start to think the first stage is wrong. The higher stages become villainized, so to speak. But that's just not true. For instance, if you're hurt, then you would need help from your partner or help from someone around you. You could be with a person and they could be like criticizing you, and you could be like, I need you to not criticize me right now, and that's valid. You need them not to criticize you. But because it's a very selfish, it's what you need, it can get a real bad rap. Now, obviously, before we even go to the other stages, you can see that if you just sat in, well, what I need is this, and what I need is that, and what I need is that, you're not going to make a very good partner. But so too, you won't make a good partner if you don't take care of your needs. I need touch more often. I need you to touch me softly more regularly in our relationship. If you spend time to accurately sift through the myriad of wants that you have and get down to what we might call core, authentic, nurturing, true, a lot of words you could use for a level of deeper want and need. I need you for this. So springs from those authentic wants. So springs from those authentic wants much of my work, because people come to me and they say, hey, I need this. I need this. Something core they're not getting is triggering the growth. Something core they're not getting is triggering the growth. And it could be myriad. There could just be so many things. But I could tell you right now, two of the big ones. And they're both two sides of the same thing, but they're just intimacy and connection. Another big one is understanding. So there'll be some point in the relationship. So when you first get together, you tend to communicate really well and connect really well. And then you're intimate, you have good sex, so to speak. Everything is working. And then as you go into life, you get busy and other things are swirling around, and you return more to your patterns. So the inspiration of the new relationship gives you energy through your patterns of behavior. And now, once that settles out, you go back to your patterns. And that's when people say, wait, my needs are not being met. You see, my needs are not being met. And often, just to give you a sense of how it works, people don't even know what they really need, which is why talking to someone like me can be super, super helpful. Because we can get down to what's the essence of what you need. What's that need underneath it all? What is the essence of what you need? This is that first stage. I need this from you. I need compassion. I need connection. I need touch. I need, and even touch. Like, what's underneath touch? Right? I just mentioned that book, The Love Languages, which most people are familiar with. What's under? I need love. I need intimacy. I need a sense of oneness. It's a love language. It's a oneness. And I'm not getting it. And that's where you start. All right, let's talk about the second stage that's useful. So the second stage is a really, really useful stage where we call this independent stage. So it's, I need this, and I'm going to take care of my own need. So you rest in your need and you take care of it yourself. It's an evolution of your need. The first is, I need you to do this for me. I need you to do this for me. And the second stage, you understand, I have a need and I'll take care of it myself. So the second stage is a good evolution, particularly when you can take care of yourself. Now, not all first stage moments can you. That first stage moment. My father-in-law is a doctor, and he hurt his elbow once. And so he was in a first stage need. He needed help with his elbow, right? That's just the first stage need. I need help with my elbow. And for a while, he went to the second stage, and he just said, I'll handle it. I'll just work around it. I'll do what I need. I'll tough it out. And then at one point, he said, I need help. Like, I can't do this. I can't do this. I need help from you. But the second stage is that evolution where you start to take care of yourself. Now, a lot of relationships go into that. And there's a strength. Like, two independent people. That's a good point. That's a good place to be in a relationship. But it also, it's better than two really, really needy people, right? And I'm talking overall. Like, there can be a moment when you're both just needy in the moment. That's fine. But in terms of a relationship, you want to grow to a space where you're independent, where you can take care of your own needs. You're strong. You're both strong people. But what gets twisted, and this is the pattern, this is the predictive pattern of the model, is that you start to isolate. Well, he's not going to give me what I need, so I'll just take care of it myself. He's not going to give me it, I'm just going to do it myself. You become isolated islands. The relationship is not two strong people coming together, it's just two strong people living as strangers. So that's the second stage. It's a good stage. You can liken these to developmental phases of childhood as well. They're children, young children, babies, they're in the dependent stage. They need you to help them. They communicate as best they can. They cry, I need my diaper changed. I cry, I need a bottle. I cry, I need to be warm. I need to be held. And you want to raise these people to the point where they no longer cry to go to the bathroom or be fed or to be warm, because they can take care of those things themselves. They go through teenagehood, and you're teaching them to be independent. You can take care of yourself. You've got some strengths. So that's the second stage. So now let's talk about the third stage. So the third stage is the we stage. We call it the interdependent stage. And this is where you're still concerned about your needs, but you're also concerned about their needs. And this is the bargaining stage. I need this from you, and I'm willing to give this to you. I need this from you, but I'm willing to give this. Would you give me this if I give you this? And it is also an expression of a more mature way of asking for your needs. Honey, I hear that you're angry and upset, but I need you to please lower your voice so that I can address your needs. So it's a bargaining phase. And there are thousands and thousands of books and therapists across the world that are going to teach you how to communicate on the third stage. They're going to take you out of maybe the deep swirling waters of need for when you trigger into need. I'm going to help you become independent, get some space. I can handle this. And now from this little out of the crisis need into I've got it, then you make the next mature decision. How can we do this together? Let us plan our marriage together. Let us plan our life together. I need this, you need this. going to the teenage model, the individual teenagers, like, I need this, I'm going to do it my way. They go through that phase. And then hopefully they come through to, okay, let's do this together. How do we do this together? So these 3 stages are extremely important in a marriage, in a partnership, in a relationship, in any and all relationships. That you learn to understand where you are on that scale. Like, I'm in this need stage. I need this right now. And you evolve to, oh, I'm in a need stage, but you know what? I'll handle it myself. Is there a mature way to handle it myself? I'm good. Or, screw you, I'll do it myself. And then can you get really, really good in that 3rd stage of, I need this. What do you need? How can I help you? You would never say that in the 1st or the 2nd stage. In the 3rd stage, when you go, okay, I see my needs, but I also want to see, if I don't see yours, I want to see yours. What are your needs? How can I help you? And how can we help each other? So the 1st stage is you need to help me. The 2nd stage, I help myself. The 3rd stage is we. What can we do together? There's just thousands of beautiful modalities of therapy. Thousands of modalities of therapy to get you there. Now, one of the particular needs of most relationships is what I spoke of earlier, is the intimacy and the connection. And there is a tenor and a texture of these, a fire, a passion, arc of electricity that comes together. Yes, we want our relationship to have that something more. You start to identify it, like something's missing. There's a need for something sparked. Where's that spark? That's the 4th stage. Now, where are you in your relationship? Are you getting your basic needs done? Are you able to stand up? Then if you have these just a crisis-driven number of basic, like you're in fights all the time and it's mean and maybe it's even physical, you just need that to stop. That'd be a 1st stage. 2nd stage, are you in a stage where you really need to stand up for your own needs and take care of yourself? You have some habits of victimhood that you're working on, standing up and going, I am my own person. Which leads to the 3rd stage of going, I need this, but also have you learned to feel into what do they need, where synchronicity comes together. Not synchronicity, synergy. Where 1 + 1 = 4. Together we can do something bigger than we could before. Or are you in that 4th stage where you're doing really good in those zones? You've created this 1 + 1 = 4. There's a synergy, and yet the passion and vibrancy and vitality of your life and growth has plateaued. Everything's great, but it's not working. What is this now? And that goes back to the 1st stage. What's my need? Now you have a new need, a need for a growth of a expression, a spark, a passion that's not being met. And if you just go back to those first 3 stages, you can go through them as many times as you want, but the polarity, the arc of connection is lost, and you realize you need a new paradigm, and that paradigm is the 4th stage. And so this model helps you find out where you are on the stage. Are you in a therapeutic mode? We just need to learn to talk. I can't even express my needs. I need to get strong. I'm just in a crisis driven. I need to get out of this crisis. Well, are you making it work? And here's this thing. Suddenly, things should be working fine. What am I missing? I don't even know what I want. I want this passion, this spark. Am I going to go, have an affair to get it? because everything's working. Why am I going outside why am I unhappy? What do I want? And the fourth stage is about understanding that need in the context of your personal growth and fulfilling that need and the need that your partner has.